Okay, so today is a really momentous day for history, her story, music, pop culture, because two really incredible albums came out today, and I want to talk about them because I want to talk about the experience I had listening to them. And it relates to my projects and how I absorb music, how I'm moved by it, inspired by it, especially because we're entering an era that I'm very excited about. And here it goes. The first album I want to talk about is Rosalía. She came out with LUX today. And what can I say? I mean, it's incredible. It's sublime. It's a very ambitious and impressive project that I think was successfully done. And I listened to it this morning while I was wearing my headphones. I was baking. And so, I have to do all these small, meticulous things. I have to measure, gather all kinds of ingredients and make ingredients. And so it was such a wonderful way to just, pass the time and be in my thoughts. Rosalía is an artist that means a lot to me because her album, El Mal Querer, was the album that inspired me to write my own album. Because what she did was the foundation of that album was flamenco. And I think I read somewhere that she was studying, and it was kind of like her thesis that she was doing. And so she used the foundation of flamenco, but she was able to transcend that to pop and hip hop. And I remember when I first heard that album, I thought it was close to the idea that I had of me doing, I love pop and I love hip hop, and I think in rhythm, and I'm a Puerto Rican girl, and I love old Latin genres. And when I say old, it's like the Latin genres that were more appreciated in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like cha-cha-cha, mambo, son montuno. I mean, these are still appreciated, but I love the big band composers and a lot of songs that were popular back then. In fact, that's the music I use when I'm doing burlesque. And so I always thought that those old songs had a place in modern music, and I always heard it all in a contemporary way. I mean, to this day, I wrote an album of boleros, cha-cha-cha, guajira. And the foundation of it all, it's not, I didn't put any hip hop drums in it, but the foundation of it all is contemporary music. It's pop, it's hip hop. Con calma, que el karma se encarga de todo. That's a guajira in the song, but I hear it as a hip hop. So when Rosalía came up with the album, I felt like my idea was possible, and therefore it means a lot to me. So this album was something I was really anticipating, and it did not disappoint. I thought it was amazing. Once the album was done, I'm just about finishing putting the ingredients in my pans and about to put them in the oven. And I'm thinking like, wow, what a ride. Like, what an incredible album. I'm kind of like, oh, wow, so cool. Very cool. I put the tins in the oven, and then I need to clean everything, which if you bake, it's like all kinds of things. So I'm cleaning, and now I'm starting my coffee, like to make my coffee. So I got a few things to do, and I say, well, now I'm going to listen to this other album, Maggie Koerner's UPSTATE. So Maggie Koerner's UPSTATE album starts with a song called Jesus Christ Boy. And here's the era that I want to talk about, that I'm very excited that we are entering. I feel like we're entering a spiritual era because, Rosalía, her album is very much laced with a lot of spirituality and exploration and questions about, how we relate to this higher being. And I'm really about it because I feel like it's about time we stop being so self-centered in songs. Like, I'm here for the self-empowerment, and I definitely think that Von Dutch is like one of my spirit animal songs, or Cocky as Fuck by Megan Thee Stallion. But I feel like every other song is the same idea. And I love when we can explore a bigger picture where we relate to something bigger. Rosalia has LUX, and now we have Jesus Christ Boy. And so the song starts, and I actually have to stop what I'm doing. Like, I didn't have to stop for Rosalia's album. I mean, I thought it was incredible. And I'm like, oh, this is incredible, as I'm like putting ingredients in a cup. But for Maggie's, I have to stop what I'm doing. Like, I'm like, so moving on to the song, I keep moving slowly because I'm kind of like, it's like you're sucked into this world and I have to pay attention to everything. Like, she caught my attention. So then Oaxaca starts, and I think that's the second song. And I'm like so in it that I have to leave the kitchen and sit in my dining room. And it's just my headphones, I'm at my table and I'm just sitting there like this, like in this shock. And I'm feeling it so deeply. And I like to say it feels like ROSALÍA'S is like on a pedestal and we're like, oh my God, admiration, like a museum, like, whoa, impressive. Maggie's is like, she's playing in a dark room and you enter if you dare. And you can't help but enter because you're like, I need to know what is going on. And I'm walking in, and now I'm in the room, right? I'm sitting down. I've stopped what I'm doing. Like I didn't finish cleaning, and I'm every once in a while like lifting my headphone off just to see if the oven had beeped or anything. So now I'm not doing anything. Like I'm just listening, and every song, and you know, the songs keep going. And now I'm halfway through the album and I couldn't even contain myself. I had to go on Instagram and post, holy fuck, this album is incredible. But then I go and I text all my friends and I'm like, you need to listen. I think I texted, listen to this now. And then I messaged Maggie because I know her personally. And I just had to, I felt this euphoria and I was crying. And it was just like this much more impacted experience. Like, I had this realization, like, if we can have the audacity to create what we want to create, what we feel, what we are truly inspired by, instead of relying on algorithms or what we think is going to give us the big break or chart, or what we think people are going to find cool and what they're going to repost. If we can stop thinking about what is going to go viral, we can dare to exist. We can dare to make actual original work that really does move people the way that these two albums have. I realized that in the process of me making my album I wrote genuinely, never thinking that I was actually going to record it. And then I recorded it, and then I produced it, and then, you know, post-production, and it started becoming real. But I did get lost. I got lost because then once I had done it all, there's this pressure that I must have a strategy then. Like, I've gone through all this work. I must have a strategy to make sure everybody hears it, make sure that I go viral, make sure that I'm cool enough, make sure people recognize me and say, that girl needs to be on this magazine. I start thinking outside of myself and not in myself. I like to call this audacity Malentía. I mean, of course, Malentina, the name comes from that idea that I had, that I wanted to be bad enough. Not bad in a not good taste, bad enough as in audacious enough to dare to do what I really felt like I wanted to do, like I felt called to create. Not talking about selfishness here, but to dare to show up as who I am without performing, without trying. And Maggie's album really did that. I really think that like I say, I mean, I think it's a huge compliment to say that it's like the album is a girl playing in a dark room and you enter if you dare. And you better, and if you're a baddie and you dare enter, you'll never be the same, because you will meet all the parts of you've been avoiding. I don't know. All I know is 2 albums came out today and they're amazing and I'm moved by them. If you disagree completely, I really want to know too. Like, I feel like we should allow ourselves to disagree and be like, you don't like it? Cool. I mean, damn, I loved it. But like, it doesn't have to mean that we're different. I said I'm really excited to talk about the era that we're entering. And, I have a feeling we're entering a spiritual era, and I'm very about this. But above that, I think it's because we are daring to enter our coming of rage era, and us women are feeling it so hard. And I'm hearing it in female songs, female-led songs, and in female-directed movies. And I think it's so refreshing. It's what I feel. It's what my album is about. It's what I like. I'm a passionate girl. And it's about time we gave ourselves the green light to just burn, baby, burn. So, listen to those albums. Follow me if you haven't. It's just cool to have a community. So, mucha malentía siempre.